So I'm reading a really good article by Susan Fowler, and she's the author of a book entitled Master Your Motivation: Three Scientific Truths for Achieving Your Goals. All right, so I've been in business since 2011, and I'm not going to lie, I've always been a sucker for books on motivation, productivity, time management, all those topics because it's always just been fascinating to me that we all have 24 hours in a day, but man, there are some people who just crush it. They manage to get way more done than me and pretty much anybody. There's people out there that they just know they're disciplined. They know how to focus on the right work. Whereas the majority of people get caught up in checking emails, social media, checking ads, distractions, phone, text. But there are people out there that just destroy it. They just get more done in an average day than most people get done in maybe 2 weeks or even a month. And anyways, in this article, it was completely different than anything I had read before. And she's talking about how basically choice, connection, and competence are required for you to thrive. Basically, it's not just about managing your time, it's about managing your energy. You got to have positive energy to be effective, productive, and healthy, is what it says. And one of the cool things in this article is it says rather than looking at your to-do list as just items that you have to do, right? Most people, they just take things, they have this like long and exhaustive to-do list. She says, look at those items as choices rather than things you have to do. They're choices. So that completely shifts the way you look at it because you're looking at something. It may say something like, hey, write this blog post or set up this ad or call this person or have this meeting or whatever, right? When you look at it as not an item you have to do, but as a choice, that instantly changes the way that you view a list, right? Because now you're like, okay, I don't have to do this. This is a choice. Is this something that fits into, where I'm going, right? And stay with me here because I'm going to talk about how this fits in. So basically, she says, something on your list may be compelling, but only you can choose if you want to do it. And the second thing she says is then you want to evaluate those items, those choices, based on how it creates connection and competence. And then basically you want to schedule your day with the to-do items that have the greatest potential to create choice, connection, and competence. All right, so let me give you an example of how this works. And I wish I could, I'll try and put a link to this in the description of this episode. But so basically you have some columns. So basically you have your choices, right? The things that that are your so-called to-do items, but they're choices. And you have some columns, basically connection, competence, fun, stress relievers, and then basically you have your items, right? So like, let's say again, let's just an example that she has here in this post. It says to write a blog post. And does that create a connection? And for her, it does. Does that create competence, right? Is she learning something? Yes, she says for her it does. Is it fun? For her, yes. Will it relieve some stress or pressure, right? And for her, yes. So that's obviously a win. That's an item that she wants to do. But then she has something here like check social media. And does that create connection? She has a yes, right? She has an X there. Does it create competence? Does she learn anything from it? No, there's no X in that column. Does she look at it as fun? No, there's no X. Does it relieve stress or pressure? There's not an X, right? So the only one that does is create connection. Doesn't mean that she won't do it, but it doesn't meet the criteria of basically creating connection, creating competence, and being something that's fun or relieves pressure, right? So basically you look at all these, like there's exercising she has on here on her choice list, which creates connection, creates competence, and relieves stress or pressure. So this kind of helps you to basically take items on your to-do list. And again, if you look at this, it'll make a lot more sense than I'm probably making in this episode. And basically it's almost like a scoring chart where you have your choice or your to-do item, and then you put an X in these columns. Okay, does this create connection? Is this fun? Does it relieve stress? And then it basically gives you the answer if this is something that you need to be working on. So very cool, very unique. And again, I've studied a lot on motivation, discipline, productivity, time management. And I had not seen something like this before. So definitely check this out. Again, the big takeaway is looking at your to-do list items not as must-dos, but as choices.